Well, that certainly got people riled up. Scott here from NHL Math. A couple days ago, I posted a video talking about the probability in a league with perfect parity that no Canadian team would win the Stanley Cup in 33 years. Now, that ended up being very small, 0.02% chance of happening. And that got people talking, people complaining about Gary Bettman. Well, hockey fans of Canada sure like blaming Gary Bettman for the fact that no Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup since 1993. Let's look at other things as well. There's another very low probability event that has happened since 2020 in the NHL Finals. Since 2020, every year has at least one finalist that has come from a state that charges no income tax. There are 9 states in the United States that have no income tax. Now, some of them have NHL teams and some of them do not. So the teams that don't have to pay their players any income tax are Florida, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Nashville, Seattle, and Las Vegas. And out of those teams mentioned, mainly Florida, Tampa Bay, Dallas, and Vegas, they've been in the Stanley Cup Finals quite a bit recently. So it made me wonder, in a perfect world where all teams had the same chance of winning the Stanley Cup, what would the probability be that this many teams from non-tax states were in the Stanley Cup Finals this recently? Now, to calculate this probability, we need to take every year and figure out the probability of 2 teams from non-tax states making the Stanley Cup Finals. So let's take 2020, for example. There are 5 teams from no-tax states, and 2 of them made the finals. Now, the number of ways that could happen would be 5 choose 2. Then you have to multiply it by the other 25 teams where none of them made the finals. That'd be 25 choose 0. Take that, divide it all by the full 30 teams, and where 2 of them make the finals, and that would be 30 choose 2 to give you the total possible ways that teams make the final. This is called hypergeometric probability.
Here you have each year the teams from no-tax states that were in the finals, the probability using hypergeometric probability that would occur, multiply it all together for each year, and you get a very small number. Multiply by 100 to turn it to a percent of actually occurring, which is 0.0002% chance of it happening.
0.0002% chance of that happening in a perfect world where all teams have an equal chance of winning. Makes you wonder. Makes the other probabilities, for example, of no Canadian team win the Stanley Cup in 33 years or the Toronto Maple Leafs not win the Stanley Cup in 59 years, seem kind of small. Turns out players like to play where they don't have to pay income tax. Scott here from Energize Math. Follow for more.